Srimad Bhagwad Gita, Chapter 2, Sloka 70 and 71. So, Sloka 70 and 71 are one of the important slokas of Srimad Bhagwad Gita. It can be chanted to control temptation, that is Sloka 70. And 71 is for seeking peace. So, you can all make a note in your next to your slokas. Rupashri ma'am, we will do chanting Sloka 70.
Yes.
आपूर्यमान
आपूर्यमाण
मचलप्रतिष्ठम्
मचलप्रतिष्ठम्
समुद्रमापः
समुद्रमापः
प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्
प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्
तद्वत् कामायम्
तद्वत् कामायम्
प्रविशन्ति सर्वे
प्रविशन्ति सर्वे
स शान्तिमाप्नोति
स शान्तिमाप्नोति
न कामकामी.
न कामकामी.
Now Shloka 71. Vihaya kamanyah
विहाय कामान्यः
सर्वान्
सर्वान्
पुमांश्च चरति
पुमांश्च चरति
निःस्पृह
निःस्पृह
निर्ममो
निर्ममो
निर्हङ्कारः
निरहङ्कारः
स शान्ति
स शान्ति
मदिगच्छति.
मदिगच्छति.
Thank you. Now we will do the meaning part. Shloka 70 can be chanted to control temptation. The meaning part is Apuryamanam, filled from all sides, Achala Pratishtam, undisturbed, Samudram, ocean, Apaha, waters, Pravishanti, enter, Yadvat, as, Tadvat, likewise, Kamaha, desires, Yam, who, Pravishanti, enter, Sarve, all, Saha, that person, Shantim, peace, Apnoti, attains, Na, not, Kamakami, one who strives to satisfy desires. So here Sri Krishna ji has said, just as the ocean remains undisturbed by the non-stop flow of waters from the rivers merging into it, likewise the sage who is unmoved despite the flow of desirable objects all around him attains peace. Not the person who strives to satisfy the cravings for the sense object desires. So in this shloka, Sri Krishna ji is saying the nature of a yogi or a sage who has attained the level of Brahman. So Brahman is a state where a person has attained that level that the being around with the sense objects, he is not getting the cravings for any of the sense objects. The sage has controlled his senses to a level that even though he is in this material life with all the material objects surrounding to that sage is not affected by those sense objects because he has attained the level that he is controlling his senses and he has attained the level of Brahman. So Sri Krishna ji has given an example of a ocean. And how the ocean, if we see, can you make out that so many rivers are coming and merging into the ocean? Nobody can make out. But still all the rivers are going and merging into the ocean. But ocean remains same. It's not disturbed. It is not disturbed because the other rivers are coming and merging into it. The same way is the sage, not a normal sage, a high level sage who has attained the level of Brahman, who is in this material world with all the material objects surrounded to him, but still is not attracted to any of the material objects because he has controlled his senses. The sage has controlled his senses to such an extent that none of the material objects attract to the sage. So Sri Krishna ji is saying that sage is not into that satisfying all the desires. He is not into that level. He is into that level that even though he is surrounded by all the material objects, he is not at all getting any cravings, he is not getting attracted to any of the sense objects, because he has learned to control the senses and he has attained the Brahman state. Brahman state is the supreme state. That is according to Srimad Bhagwad Gita. When a normal person becomes a sage. So this is what, how he becomes a sage. He is able to control the senses. He is not attracted towards any of the material objects or the material life. He is leading the material life because he is doing his primary duty. But the complete focus is on Sri Krishna ji. His goal is to attain moksha, to attain Sri Krishna ji. है ना? But he is doing his primary duty because Sri Krishna ji has said, you should not run away from your primary duty to attain moksha. You have to attain moksha by doing your primary duty, by living in this material world, but complete focus on the Supreme Lord. So the same teaching Sri Krishna ji has given to all the lords as well. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, last chapter, where Brahmaji has disclosed what Sri Krishna ji has said to Brahmaji. So before Brahmaji has started the creation, Sri Krishna ji has given the same instructions that you surrender to me so that Lord Brahmaji is not attached to all his creations. So Krishna ji has said that you are going to create in many kalpas. So you should not get attached to it. You have to be a Lord of righteousness. So for that you surrender to me. So same way, here Sri Krishna ji is telling us also that we have to be like no control our senses. We have to control our desires. No, few people have unlimited desires, dangerous desires. That is harmful for them as well, for the people surrounding to them, family and friends. So better to have controlled desires so that everybody is happy in the house. You know? So suppose I'll take my example. Suppose I keep on pulling my husband's shirt. I want a new car, I want a new bungalow, I want to go for holiday every weekend. Poor guy. How will he manage then? He will also be troubled always. I am also be troubled because I will be unhappy. My desires are not fulfilled, and he will be worried that how do I fulfill her desires. So we should be happy with what we have. I am not. Suppose I am always telling I want iPhone, then I want iPhone ka laptop, then I want iPhone ka tab. What will happen to him? है ना? So we should not have all those desires. We should be happy with what we have. So we'll come back to this sloka that Sri Krishna ji is discussing about the sages who have attained the level of Brahman. For that, Sri Krishna ji has given an example of ocean, that those sages are also undisturbed with all the material objects surrounding to them because they have learned to control their senses and they have attained the Brahman state. Yes, Vishabhaji, आप म्यूट हो. उषा बुआ जी आप म्यूट हो.
Here,
Here
Lord
Lord
Krishna
Krishna
is
is
explaining
explaining
us,
us.
we
Here
should
Lord
not
Krishna
get
is explaining
distracted
us.
by any materialistic things. We should not be distracted by that. We should be calm and we should be doing our primary duty. Here, explaining about the sages that they are not at that level, they are not distracted by any other desirable things. They are happy with what they have. So here Krishna has given the example of ocean. Like many rivers are coming merging in that, but know that there are a lot of rivers are coming because ocean is calm and calm, very calm. So like that, we have to also we do have to do our practice. We have to what we.
Thank you, Buaji. Rupashri ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In the shloka, as you said, it is to overcome our temptation. Here, Lord Shri Krishna is telling, he's giving the example of the ocean that it remains undisturbed despite many rivers, water it's coming and it is joining the ocean, but despite that, it remains undisturbed. So, likewise, we need to be undisturbed with. The materialistic pleasures which we see or come across throughout our life, and we shouldn't get disturbed by that. And if we remain like that, we'll attain the state of Brahman, and that will in turn help us to reach moksha. So we need to try to be maintain our focus towards moksha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Siddhant?
Yes, ma'am. So here, Lord Shri Krishna is saying that we should learn to control our desires, and so that he's given an example of an ocean where sages uh, who have devoted their life to Lord Shri Krishna and have controlled their sense organs have are like the ocean, dis, not including the fact that there are many disturbances. They're not distracted by any sense material objects that normal everyday people would get distracted by. They will only focus on doing their primary duty and on focusing on Lord Shri Krishna.
Thank you. Sanjay?
Yes, ma'am. So here Lord Shri Krishna is telling that, for example, the sages who will be around the material things, but they control our senses, they attain that level. We should not run away from our primary duty to attain moksha. We should do primary duties also.
Thank you. Akriti?
Yes, ma'am. So Lord Shri Krishna is telling us you should be like the yogi. At that level of the yogis, they will not be disturbed by any material thing. They won't expect anything in return. So we should be. Lord Shri Krishna is telling that we should not be attracted to anything, the material thing. For example, he's giving an example of an ocean. All the rivers, lakes, ponds is joining the ocean, but nobody can notice. And but the ocean won't be disturbed. But that also we should not be disturbed by the material things. And to attain moksha, do our karma and primary duty. But mostly we should focus on Lord Shri Krishna.
Very good. Thank you. So basically, we also learn that we are also surrounded by so many material objects. You know? We should not get attracted towards it because we cannot have everything in our life. It's not at all possible. So we should control our senses, control our desires, control our temptations, and keep on chanting the shlokas. We see you all are kids, you three are kids. So you should learn that your desires has to be little subside, little less. It is impossible to have everything what is there in the world. But whatever we are having, you are having, is enough for you. So you should be happy with that. We cannot always go and shop for new things. Yes, Sanchi, thank you for your blessings.
We should not ask for, like, we have something. We should not ask for new one, like anything.
Ha, correct.
We should be happy with what we have.
Correct. That is the no very easy and the secret mantra of life to be happy. If you follow this, you will be very happy throughout your life. That whatever you are having, be happy with that. Enjoy that. Because see, many people are there, they don't have at least this thing also, this basic things as well. So we have to learn this, that we have to be happy. Don't look what others are having. You look what you are having and enjoy that. Okay, now Shloka 71. Vihaya, giving up, kaman material desires, yah who sarvan all, puman a person, charati lives, nishpriha free from cravings, nirmama without a sense of ownership, nirahankaraha without egoism, saha that person, shantim perfect peace, madhigachati attains. So this shloka can be chanted for seeking peace. Sri Krishna ji has said here, that person who gives up all material desires and lives free from a sense of greed, possessivity and egoism attains perfect peace. So Sri Krishna ji is saying again the key points to have a peaceful life. So what are the things that you give up the material desires, you don't have the sense of greed, you are not greedy. Few persons are very greedy, they are not at all satisfied how much ever they get. The greediness level, then possessivity, that it belongs to me, I did this, that is the possessivity. It is mine, I will not give to anyone, I have done this, very bad nature. Then egoism, you shouldn't have any ego, we have to be down to earth. So what is down to earth? That you are humble, you smile, you give smile to everyone, you talk with everyone, you know it's that you are very nice. That is ego. If a person is in ego, what will happen? That kind of person will not talk to anyone and everyone, they will be very choosy, very few people they will talk. We cannot approach them basically. So, Sri Krishna ji is saying that to have a perfect peace, peace is peace of mind, that is very important. So, these qualities we need to have. We need to take out from us and throw if we have any greediness, if we have any possessiveness, and if we have any egoism inside us, we need to take out and throw it out. So how do we throw it out? You should not, you should ask all these things, how to throw it out. Because it is a nature, it is not any object that we take that object and we throw. It is the nature, it can be only feel. We can only feel all those things. So we should try that whenever we show something, we feel that I want more, we should tell ourselves, no, I have to be neutral. I should not be greedy, right? If whenever you it comes from your mouth that it belongs to me, you should come, remember this teaching. No, Sri Krishna ji has said me that I should not have possessiveness. So you have to be kind. And your desires, if your desires are increasing, remind yourself that Sri Krishna ji has said that I have to control my desires. So when we control all these things, then we attain peace of mind. We need to train ourselves, keep on telling ourselves. Then only we and keep on chanting the shlokas. Chanting the shlokas are very important. If you chant, what are the benefits? Sri Krishna ji will help you to be in the path what he has shown in the Srimad Bhagwad Gita. Okay? He will give you support, he will give his energy to have these qualities, to don't have these qualities. Sorry, to don't have all these qualities. So keep chanting the shlokas, it's very, very important, always and anytime. Akriti, your turn.
Yes, ma'am. So Hari Krishna is telling that we should not have possessiveness, we should not have ego, we should not have any greed in us. So if we have all these things, we can just try to remind ourselves that Lord Shri Krishna has told us that we should not have any of these things. And Lord Shri Krishna is also telling us to, we can throw them out, but they're not like objects, they're only feelings. We can only feel them. So we should try to remind ourselves.
Very good. Thank you, Sanchi.
Yes, ma'am. So here Lord Shri Krishna is trying to tell us that we should not have the greediness and we should not be so choosy that I will talk to only her, him, or like that. We want this, we don't want that. Even in eating.
Yes. Very important. Thank you, Sanchi. Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. So here Lord Shri Krishna is saying that those who live, those who live without greed, without ego, without any negative emotions in them, attains perfect peace. And he's also saying that if you have any of these negative uh, feelings or emotions towards something or someone, or just generally, then you should always chant Lord Shri Krishna shlokas, and just chant Lord Shri Krishna slokas, remember him, and yeah, and then you'll be uh, free from all of this.
True, very true. Rupashri, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. This shloka is to be chanted to attain peace. Here, Lord Shri Krishna is telling that a person who overcomes his desire and who's down to earth, who's free from attachment and egoism, he is will be attaining peace. But how to overcome this is that because all these feelings cannot be removed from ourselves because it is part of us and it's part of our feelings, so we need to know how to subside our emotions and overcome it by chanting the Bhagavad Gita shlokas as much as possible. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Usha Buaji.
Here, Lord Krishna is saying us to have the peace of mind always. For that, we should not have egoism, we should not have greediness, we should not have our desires. What we should always be happy, what we have, and for that, we cannot remove all those things from. So if we everything whatever we have, we are thinking about Lord Krishna, that we are offering everything to Lord Krishna. We should chant every time the slokas of Lord Krishna, and we should remember every time when our desires or egoism is very high, then should remember the Lord Krishna, that please save me, please save me. Then it will overcome by that, and we will have the peace of mind and again to the moksha path.
Thank you so much. But it is true. If we remember Sri Krishna ji, he surely comes and helps. It happens with me for sure. You know, yesterday night I was not getting sleep. So I was telling Sri Krishna ji, please help me, give me sleep. And I started chanting Karpane Dosho. I remember I chanted only once and I got my sleep. So see, so quickly he is helping us. Yes, even whenever I get any pain, no, I just say, Shri Krishna ji, please help me, save me, and I start Karpane Dosha. And seriously, try this. It no is immediately you will see there is no pain. Whatever help we are asking for, Shri Krishna ji surely will come and help. It is not that he is coming in a human form, but he will pull out you from that situation. You will feel relaxed, you will feel no you'll get some relaxation. I feel daily in my life, I always only and only remember him. So you all try, it's really great feeling, and you will feel that yes, there is someone with me always to take care of me. It is true. Chalo,